She left her home at exactly 8:14 p.m. for what she called a 5-minute errand. 2 hours later, her car was found idling on a lonely back road, driver's door open, engine still running, and her phone lying face down in the dirt. There was no sign of her, not then, not ever. But what police discovered next would turn this from a simple missing person case into one of the most disturbing mysteries the town had ever seen. If you love dark, mysterious true crime stories, make sure you hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a case. Now let's get into tonight's investigation. At first, no one worried when 29-year-old Emily Carver didn't answer her phone. Friends assumed she was busy. Her family thought maybe she stopped to help someone. But when a county deputy spotted her silver sedan on a narrow dirt road, headlights still on, hazard lights flashing in the darkness, the quiet unease became something else. Emily's purse was on the passenger seat. Inside it, her wallet, cash untouched. The only thing missing was Emily. Investigators pieced together her last known movements. Security footage from a gas station just 20 minutes before she vanished showed her buying a single bottle of water. She didn't appear scared or in distress. She smiled politely at the cashier. But in the corner of the frame, barely visible, a dark SUV idled behind her car. No plates were visible. By morning, the local police brought in state investigators and eventually the FBI. But here's the part they didn't share with the public. On the driver's seat of Emily's car, officers found a single, folded piece of paper. It contained just one sentence. She shouldn't have been looking. Who wrote it? What was Emily looking for? And why was there not a single fingerprint on the note? Over the next weeks, tips poured in. Sightings of a woman matching Emily's description in gas stations, rest stops, even a casino 2 states away. Each lead fell apart under scrutiny, but something darker was happening behind the scenes. Detectives uncovered that Emily had been researching a string of unexplained disappearances in the county dating back 15 years. All of them involved young women. All of them occurred on back roads within a 20-mile radius of where her car was found. And every single one was still unsolved. When her laptop was analyzed, digital forensics found dozens of bookmarked articles and an encrypted folder. After weeks of work, the FBI cracked it open, and inside were photographs. Grainy, eerie photographs of the missing women, each taken in the days before they vanished from angles that suggested they were being watched. And then there was one final photograph. Emily herself, standing at the gas station. That same dark SUV in the distance. The case remains officially open but inactive. Emily's body has never been found, but locals still whisper about the back road where her car was found, claiming that on quiet nights, you can see headlights appear in your rearview mirror, only to vanish when you turn to look. For 48 hours, the streets of Brookhaven felt different. The coffee shops were quieter. The nightly dog walkers kept glancing over their shoulders. Emily Carver's face, smiling, framed by the soft light of summer sunset, was plastered on every news broadcast, every missing person alert, every phone screen. But behind those posters was something the police weren't saying out loud. The last person to see her alive had already lawyered up. His name wasn't public, yet, and that silence was louder than any headline. Detectives traced her final known movements, starting from that boutique security camera footage we saw in part 1. Emily stepping out, holding a paper shopping bag. She turns right, disappears into the blind spot between 2 buildings. But here's the thing. Someone else steps in a frame just seconds later. A man in a dark hoodie, head down, carrying nothing. The footage is grainy, but the way he walks, it's deliberate. Like he knows exactly where he's going. Like he's following her. Police pulled traffic cam data from the intersection ahead. And sure enough, Emily's reflection is caught in the glass of a bus shelter. But behind her, the same man. Only now he's closer, almost within arm's reach. Then nothing. The footage cuts. Not because the camera malfunctioned, but because that stretch of road doesn't have surveillance at all. A perfect dead zone. That night, officers knocked on the door of Emily's closest friend, Claire. She said Emily had been acting strange for weeks, jumping at sudden noises, double-checking her locks, avoiding certain streets entirely. And the last text Emily sent her was chilling. 4 words. He's here. Gotta go. Who is he? Why wasn't Emily telling anyone? And was it connected to the man in the hoodie? Police say they're working leads, but the streets are talking, and what they're saying doesn't match the official story. If you've been following this case from the beginning, you know every second counts. Because the longer Emily stays missing, the less likely she's found alive. And in the next minute, you'll hear the voicemail Emily left just 1 hour before she vanished. A voicemail her family didn't know existed until now. Before we get there, don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and drop your theories in the comments. The smallest detail could crack this case wide open. It was one of those moments that freezes the air in a room. A single notification on Claire's phone, voicemail from Emily Carver. It was timestamped just 9:42 p.m., exactly 1 hour before Emily disappeared. Claire's hands are shaking so badly, she almost dropped the phone as she hit play. The first 3 seconds were pure static. Then, Emily's voice. Low, breathless, almost whispering. Claire, I can't talk long. I saw him again. He was outside my building, just standing there. Another pause. A sound like a car door slamming in the background. Emily's breathing quickens. I'm one of the place we talked about. If I don't call you back, you know what to do. Then, faintly, over the noise of the street, another voice cuts in. A man's voice. Just 1 word. Emily. And the call ends. Claire immediately brought the voicemail to detectives. But when the official police report came out, the audio transcript was missing that last word entirely. Now, people are asking, did the police edit the recording? And if so, why? Investigators say Emily may have been heading to an old railway yard on the edge of town, a place she and Claire had visited years ago. But when officers searched it, they didn't find Emily. They found something else. Buried in the dirt near the rusted tracks was a phone, smashed, and not Emily's. The model was older, almost obsolete, the kind drug dealers use for untraceable calls. The only thing intact was the SIM card, and when forensics pulled the data, there was just 1 saved number. Claire's. That means whoever this phone belonged to had been in contact with Emily's best friend all along. In the next minutes, we'll find out exactly who was using that phone and why they were in Emily's life long before she vanished. This is where things get darker. Much darker. Before you go, hit subscribe, tap the bell, and leave your theory in the comments, because one of you might already know the truth. For days, the mysterious phone sat in the evidence locker. Detectives said they were working on it, but Claire didn't trust waiting. She took the SIM number to a friend, an ex-IT tech named Marcus who owed her a favor. Within hours, Marcus had traced the number's last known location. It pinged from a signal tower just 3 blocks from Emily's apartment at 2:17 a.m. That's 2 hours after Emily was last seen, meaning someone, maybe her abductor, was still nearby long after she was gone. Claire didn't tell police. Instead, she went there herself. The address the signal pointed to was an old boarding house, the kind where the paint peels in sheets and the windows are covered in yellowed newspaper. She knocked on the door. Nothing. But as she turned to leave, she caught movement in the top window. Just a shadow. Someone was watching her. She came back the next night with Marcus. They waited in his car across the street, watching the building. At 3:04 a.m., the front door opened. A man stepped out. Tall. Hood pulled low. He carried a large duffel bag and walked quickly to a black sedan. Claire's stomach dropped. She recognized his gait, the way he tilted his head slightly to the right when he walked. She had seen it before, on a grainy security clip from the night Emily vanished. Marcus urged her to take a photo, but by the time she reached for her phone, the man was gone. In the next minute, you'll see why that was the last night Claire ever went near that house, and why she still wakes up at 3:04 every morning, convinced she's hearing footsteps outside her door. Don't forget to subscribe, because the next line will uncover what's inside that duffel bag, and it's not what anyone expected. 2 nights after seeing the hooded man, Claire couldn't take it anymore. She convinced Marcus to help her break into the old boarding house while it was empty. The front door was locked, but the side window, warped and swollen from years of rain, popped open with a shove. Inside, the air was thick with dust and the smell of damp wood. Every floorboard groaned under their weight. They reached the top floor and found a single room with the door padlocked from the outside. Marcus picked it open. What they saw stopped them cold. In the center of the room sat the duffel bag, but it wasn't full of clothes. Inside were dozens of driver's licenses, all belonging to young women. Some looked decades old. In the very bottom, wrapped in a strip of faded flannel, was Emily's silver charm bracelet. Claire's hands trembled as she lifted it, the tiny heart pendant catching the moonlight from the cracked window. But then, footsteps on the stairs. Heavy, slow, coming closer. They ducked into the closet, barely breathing. Through a gap in the door, Claire saw him, the hooded man, taller up close, face hidden in shadow. He dropped another license into the bag, then stopped. His head turned slightly, like he could feel their eyes on him. Claire's phone vibrated in her pocket. Marcus's tracking app sending an alert that the signal had moved. The hooded man stepped toward the closet. Claire thought this was it, until a loud crash echoed from below, pulling him away. It didn't wait. They bolted down the stairs and into the night. Days later, the boarding house was empty. No man, no duffel bag, no evidence it had ever existed. Police called it insufficient proof. But Claire knows what she saw, and every year, on the anniversary of Emily's disappearance, another woman in the city goes missing. The last one, she lived just 3 blocks from Claire's. If you want more chilling, unsolved mysteries like this, hit that subscribe button now, because next week, I'm covering a case even darker than Emily Carver's.